Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another video, and before I will play today's Anubis Tower, I want to improve my War Blessing skill, but not by upgrading it with my Beast skill XP scrolls. This time I can do it by upgrading or fortifying the War Blessing skill over the Beast talent skill tree, and this time it increases the attack bonus of 0.8%. And today I want to make a video that shows the damage before and after one of these improvements, so you can break it down for either this Fortify War Blessing skill in the Beast talent skill tree, or here by improving the War Blessing skill itself. I have the War Blessing skill on level 15. And when we upgrade it, for example, to level 16, it just increases by 0.4 and not as from the Beast talent skill tree by 0.8. Just to show the damage difference, we will go into the Evil Tyrant, and I think it is the best place to show the difference because, as you will see now from my preset, it is a preset where I have a 9-tier formation which has just a few meat shields that also survive the area of effect attack from the Evil Tyrant, but mostly it is all of my mages, and I will just put the maximum amount of mages that I have, so my full amount of tier 12 mages, and I fill the rest with my tier 11 mages because of the fact that I have a very high march size now for me, because I have the Quartermaster and I also have my fast expansion used, so we will get right into it. Just for your information, we will quickly go back into my details. I have mage attack of 359.7% and my mage damage is also relevant for you. It's 15.2%. So let's quickly double check if everything is all right. Okay, here are the correct buffs. Here is everything correct too. I am wearing the correct gear parts and I also have the correct achievements equipped. So let's go for our first hit here on the Evil Tyrant. Then we will improve the War Blessing skill and then we will check the damage difference. So I will let this run so you can see how my formation works. I have small unit pools of the front line just so they survive 1 or 2 area of effect attacks. And from my backline I have a bit more so they survive for a longer time. Here you can nicely see how the War Blessing buff applies to all of my tier 12 mages. Now my pet gets hit. So I would have to check again how many War Blessings buff we got. But all in all, this is the hit. The battle report says 17,930,947. And now we will fortify the War Blessing skill here in the Beast talent skill tree. And then we will check out the difference. And so let's get right into it. 0.8% improvement will end up in additional damage off. So now we can check again how often we get the War Blessing buff. I will have an eye on it. So let's go. Okay, there it is. So it really looks like we are just getting it one time. But for that time, all of our mages get no hit and get the full potential out of the War Blessing buff. And now the battle ends. So, as we could see, it only applied once, but to the full amount of my mages, and there is a point difference here. Now from 17,930,947 to 17,979,718. So that's a total difference of round about 49,000 damage, I would say, close to that. And I think it is relevant for a few of you guys that are still considering to put maybe even more Beast skill EXP scrolls into the War Blessing buff. I gave it a few upgrades back in the days but at some point I just stopped doing it to have way more consistent upgrades with, for example, the attack expert or with the life source, just because of the fact that the War Blessing buff, yes, it is a nice buff and a nice addition, especially when it applies to your angels. But what we also need to see is that, first of all, you need to send your pet with it. And in addition to that, you need to make sure that your pet survives for a very long time, just so it applies the buff to your backline troops more often to get maximum efficiency out of it, which is the reason why I went for other things to do with my beast skill XP scrolls. As I just said, for example, the attack expert is a constant improvement of the attack bonus for your troops. So I think that the War Blessing buff is something that can get a few upgrades, yes, but I wouldn't invest too much into it just because of the fact that you can get way more consistency from other improvements. So for example, the attack expert is, in my opinion, the best alternative to it, just because of the fact that if you have it equipped, you have an attack improvement constantly for all of your troops and not just for one of your unit pools. So the War Blessing buff, still a great buff in general, but in my opinion, there are better things to do with your beast skill XP scrolls from a certain level on when it gets really expensive. Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this small comparison video of mine about the Beast Talent Fortify of the War Blessing, and now I will get into my Anubis Tower run. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Goodbye.